All we want is justice to be served, and we hope to get that. You know, it's been too long to go without knowing where my grandson was.
Tonight, the man accused in the killing of 14-year-old Samuel Bird was set to appear in an Edmonton courthouse today.
We're looking at 400 pounds, hopefully, at least. We'll see on the next couple.
APTN News follows one boat of Mi'kmaq fishermen during this fall's lobster harvest in Gaspé, Quebec.
As First Nations, we're starting to better understand the global demands on our resources here in our treaty and traditional territories.
And Saskatchewan is one step closer to nuclear power that includes Indigenous partnership. Good evening, I'm Christian Ashkete. Welcome to APTN National News. Thank you for joining us. Dozens of protesters were outside the Edmonton Court of King's Bench this morning as 38-year-old Brian Farrell was to have a bail hearing for his 15 charges related to the death of 14-year-old Samuel Bird. As APTN's Chris Stewart reports, the bail hearing never happened.
Monday morning, 38-year-old Brian Farrell was scheduled for a bail hearing in Edmonton. He has been charged with second-degree murder, interfering with a body, arson, 3 counts of assaulting a peace officer, and more in relation to the death of Samuel Bird. The bail hearing was delayed until November 10th.
No bail for Brian Farrell! No bail for Brian Farrell!
Outside the courthouse, dozens of supporters of Samuel Bird's family were chanting for justice for Samuel Bird and for Brian Farrell's bail to be denied.
So we're all down here rallying for Samuel Bird because we want justice, because he was only a 14-year-old boy. So we came down here, we're protested, people made signs.
What do we want? Justice! What do we want?
I know some of the family growing up, so it hit a little bit closer to me. I had went to school with some of the younger, his older relatives. So being a part of the community, it hits different.
Samuel Bird's grandfather, Calvin Bird, spoke to APTN.
Every child matters. Samuel Bird matters. That's what we're all here for. And I really appreciate the support that's behind me here. I don't know half of them or most of them, and I'm really grateful for them being here. I'm grateful for the car horns that go by here. All we want is justice to be served, and we hope to get that. You know, it's been too long to go without knowing where my grandson was. But last week we found out where he was, and now he could be put to rest. You know, he's been missing since June 1st. So I'm very grateful for the work the police have done.
There will likely be another protest on November 10th, the next bail hearing date. None of the charges have been proven in court. Chris Stewart, APTN National News, Edmonton.
The RCMP Major Crime Services made an announcement today regarding Melinda Linksleg, the Anishinaabe woman who went missing more than 5 years ago and was later found deceased in an abandoned property in Manitoba. With more details, here's T.R. Wheatley.
It's been a long 5 years for the family of Melinda Linksleg. They've been living with the uncertainty of who killed her. Just last week, the RCMP gave them some news.
And we thank you for that. And the family thanks you also.
Monday's announcement started with the passing of tobacco from Tootnawazabing's chief to the RCMP Major Crime Services. Then Sergeant Morgan Page told reporters 3 men known to Linksleg and local RCMP were charged with second-degree murder as well as offer indignity to human remains.
We arrested the following individuals for Melinda's murder. 38-year-old Miles Malcolm Mallory from Russell, Manitoba. 42-year-old Kirk Kenneth Allery from Roblin, Manitoba. And 46-year-old Billy J. Linksleg from Tootnawazabing Treaty Reserve.
Linksleg was a 40-year-old mother of 6 children. Her remains were found at an abandoned property on June 6, 2023. RCMP are now saying at one point it belonged to family of one of the 3 charged. Its location in Santa Clara, a small town near the Saskatchewan border and about 70 kilometers west of Tootnawazabing. Sergeant Page said it is an extremely complex investigation with thousands of hours of work and still ongoing. RCMP say Lynx Leg's sister reported her missing on April 16, 2020. Initially, family said she left the reserve to visit a friend on March 31st. The investigation revealed Lynx Leg's last known sighting was in Grandview, about 25 kilometers east of Tootnawazabing on April 2, 2020. RCMP say over the past 5 years, 60 officers helped in the investigation, taking 150 statements. When asked if anyone else could be charged in relation to Lynx Leg's death, Sergeant Page would only say this.
There is further investigation, even just based off of what we did last week. Information has been gleaned from those investigative steps, arresting, interviewing people. We have further interviews and information to collect during the course of the coming weeks following these arrests.
While the family was not at the event, RCMP read a statement to media saying they continue to celebrate Lynx Leg's birthday.
Keeping her spirit alive through love and remembrance. Her children hold close the memories they have of their mother, and at this time we have chosen not to share with them the details surrounding her death.
The Lynx Leg family are now asking for privacy as they process this news and prepare for the next steps, including attending court for those responsible. TR Wheatley, APTN National News, Winnipeg.
A parliamentary committee is studying policing and public safety on First Nations. The issue has become more urgent lately, as just last week, the 49 First Nations of the Anishinaabe-Aski Nation declared a state of emergency due to the flow of drugs and gang infiltration in Northern Ontario. The committee was reminded of the recent shooting death of a 27-year-old man from the Northern Ontario First Nation of Ginugaming, and the problem of outsiders coming into communities for criminal activities. Ontario Regional Chief Abram Benedict spoke to the committee about one detail that makes it difficult to stem the flow of crime.
What happens is that community may develop and enact a piece of legislation, community law, that prohibits certain persons or asks for, sets parameters for persons entering community, or if they are found to be guilty of a community offense, that they be removed. It's not prosecuted, which is fundamentally a flaw in the system.
The community of Listagouche recently completed its annual fall fishing for lobster in the Gaspé region of Quebec. APTN News joined a Listagouche fishing boat to take part in the annual tradition, and our reporter Savannah Craig takes us along for the ride.
Fishing is a fast-paced job.
Pulling up by hand.
Filled with stunts and even injuries.
Went deep, man. It hit the bone of my thumb. Oh.
These men are fishing jagay, also known as lobster in the Mi'kmaq language. Le Cap is one of the boats taking part in Listagouche's annual fall lobster fish. It runs from September 28th to October 12th. Timmy Steele Weissout owns the boat. He runs it with a small team, including the captain, a fisher, and a deckhand. The team works hard, typically arriving to the marina at 6 a.m., but the season is short, with the commercial lobster harvest running for 10 weeks in the spring and 4 weeks in the fall. For some, these few weeks totals their work for the entire year.
We're looking at 400 pounds, hopefully, at least. We'll see on the next couple.
William Kaplan is the fisher aboard Le Cap. He shares his frustrations with overfishing he sees from some fishers in the region.
There are regulations for those guys. It seems like a lot of ghost traps. They're overfishing. They fish longer than us.
Kaplan is talking about fishers from outside Listagouche. Andrew Barnaby is a deckhand. He says fishers who are getting stopped by Fisheries and Oceans Canada aren't following regulations.
Because you have the right to fish it doesn't mean you have to fish it out. Lobster season is going good.
Denny Isaac is the Associate Director of Natural Resources for Listagouche. He says it's the fishers' responsibility to uphold conservation.
It's impossible to police everything. We have to trust that our community will will do the right things, whether it's safety to conservation, protecting the lobster. To keep continuing this, we got to make sure there's more lobster into the future. So they are definitely on the front lines of conservation.
Abiding by these regulations includes not fishing lobster that are too small.
So it's 83 mils. See that right here on their back? There's another lip right here. So it's got to be above that. That one just borderline, but I don't trust them.
What happens if fishers bring back a lobster that's undersized?
You get a fine.
When the day is done, the buyer is on site to purchase the lobster.
Right on. Thanks.
And the Listagouche Rangers are on standby to ensure the fishers follow code. So how successful was this fish for Wysot and the team on board Le Cap?
Average. Average? Fishermen never tell the truth.
Savannah Craig, APTN National News, Listagouche, Mi'kmaq First Nation.
Great shots. Youth recently spent the night at Hunter's Mountain on Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. They were there to learn how to survive in the woods the Mi'kmaq way. APTN video journalist Angel Moore gives us a preview of what she's working on.
Mi'kmaq youth are learning how to start a fire, shoot a bow and arrow, cut and build a shelter, track animals, and care for the land. The Mi'kmaq have been hunting on Hunter's Mountain, Unama'ki, Mi'kmaq for Cape Breton, since time immemorial. The Union of Nova Scotia Mi'kmaq Survival Camp is ensuring those survival skills continue to ignite a spark in the youth. For some youth, Hunter's Mountain inspires poetry, teaching other youth, and connecting with elders. More of the story to come soon on APTN National News.
Welcome back. After a tropical storm wreaked havoc across multiple communities in western Alaska last week, state officials say they're now turning their attention to cleanup and repair. According to a state defense agency, close to 700 people, most of them Alaskan natives, were evacuated from the coastal villages, though the number of evacuations slowed down over the weekend. Emergency crews are now conducting village assessments, clearing debris, and making sure communities have what they need before winter sets in. They say the hope is to quickly repair homes so residents can return. In the village of Kipnuk, officials report around 90% of structures, including boardwalks and utilities, were damaged or destroyed, compromising raw water and sewage systems. Kipnuk's fresh water supply is also suspected to be contaminated with fuel and sewage. Saskatchewan is going nuclear. Today, the provincial government uranium company Cameco and the Saskatchewan First Nations Natural Resource Centre of Excellence announced a new partnership outlining the future of energy in the province. APTN video journalist Rachel May was at the press conference.
And when we look forward to the exciting opportunities ahead of us, not only in nuclear, but in power generation, transmission, and projects, we too as First Nations are seeking those opportunities, right from equity opportunities within these projects to meaningful inclusion in supply chain and of course workforce development.
CEO of the Saskatchewan First Nations Natural Resource Centre of Excellence, Sheldon Watney, and former Chief of Red Pheasant First Nation, says First Nations across the province can benefit from nuclear opportunities. Watney joined the provincial government and Cameco to announce Saskatchewan's move towards nuclear power to keep energy reliable and affordable. Crown Corporation Sask Power has secured its first small modular reactor, marking a major step towards making nuclear power a reality. With two of the world's largest uranium mines located in northern Saskatchewan, all parties say Indigenous consultation and partnership will be key as the sector grows. Watney says advancing energy security with First Nations partners turns reconciliation into action.
As First Nations, we're starting to better understand the global demands on our resources here in our treaty and traditional territories in our province of Saskatchewan. And coming together to determine, to co-develop these plans are extremely, extremely important to the future.
The press conference highlighted that securing this reactor is just the first step towards planning a nuclear future for the province. Officials say they expect nuclear energy to grow as a way to keep power bills low and energy reliable. APTN asked Minister of Crown Investments Corporation Jeremy Harrison how duty to consult will factor into the planning, execution, and operation of nuclear sites.
That is something that is incredibly important to all of us. It's incredibly important to me. This is something we need to do for a whole host of reasons, but it's the right thing to do. And I very much envision, as we move forward on this, First Nation equity ownership as a part of our nuclear future. That is going to be a central consideration for government.
Saskatchewan currently operates two power grids, one in the north and one in the south. Harrison says that the northern grid sometimes faces challenges, and part of ensuring sustainable power is merging both grids to keep everyone warm during the cold months.
You're not going to have to worry about the lights coming on when you flip the switch. That is really what this is about.
Harrison added that moving forward with nuclear energy is part of the province's plan to reach a net zero power grid by 2050. Rachel May, APTN National News, Saskatoon.
More affordable housing is coming to Winnipeg thanks to a partnership between a development company and a First Nation in Manitoba. Sav Jonza explains.
This 6-story building will soon answer calls for more affordable housing in Winnipeg. LaCour is a mixed-income apartment block containing 127 rental units, parkade, and retail space wholly owned by Opaskwayak Cree Nation in Manitoba. Their chief, Michael Constant, says there's high demand from off-reserve members for safe housing that doesn't break the bank.
Those demands need to be met on a human basis, because our people are entering into the main society, bringing them off our First Nations and surviving and thriving into these settings, and this is one of the capital ways in meeting their needs.
1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments will be on offer. About 40 of the 127 units will be dedicated for First Nations renters from any treaty territory. OCN partnered with Freed Home Developments on the project. Their president, Jonathan Freed, says that while most of the apartments will range between $1,500 to more than $2,000 a month in rent, 52 units will be deeply affordable compared to market rates.
In this particular community, the 1 bedrooms will be about $785 a month. 2 bedrooms will be $985 a month, so well below market rental values.
Freed says economic reconciliation is the cherry on top of a wonderful project. He looks forward to more collaborations with First Nations.
We've certainly been approached by other First Nations. I mean, we love doing it. They've got tremendous vision and tremendous trust, and they're excellent collaborators, and we'd love to do more of it for sure.
The $38 million project is supported by a more than $35 million investment by the Government of Canada and tax increment financing from the City of Winnipeg. LaCour plans to open September 2026. Sav Jonesa, APTN National News, Winnipeg.
When we come back, we will bring you an update about a residential school totem pole in Winnipeg that was destroyed back in August. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Time now for our photo of the day. Dorothy Ratch sent in this photo that really captures the reason why this lake was named Emerald Lake. The lake is located in Yoho National Park, British Columbia. Quite a stunning picture. Thank you so much for that picture, Dorothy. For the chance to be our next photo of the day, all you need to do is send us your pictures to share at aptn.ca and then tune in each day to see if your photo was selected. Time now to take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. On the east coast, Charlottetown 12 and showers, Halifax sunny and 15. Cartwright 9, the Grand River 6. Saskatchewan 11, Gaspé 10 and showers there. Ottawa 13, Toronto sunny and 15. Thunder Bay partly cloudy and 8, Wawa 7 and rain there. Puckatawaga and 4, Thompson 2. Winnipeg 7, Barons River 6. Partly cloudy in Regina at 7, sunny in Saskatoon at 9. Uranium City 3, LaRange 7. Sunny and high level at 7, Fort McMurray 8. Medicine Hat 13, Edmonton 15. Vancouver 14 and sun's out there, Kamloops 11. Fort Nelson 5, Smithers 8. Beaver Creek 0, Whitehorse 5. 1 in Yellowknife, -1 in Norman Wells. Tuktoyaktuk -6, Palatuk -8. Baker Lake sunny and -3, Chesterfield sun's out there as well at -2. And Resolute -2, Aglulik 0. Three years ago, the Southern Chiefs organization unveiled a residential school survivors totem pole created by artist Charles Joseph in a Winnipeg park. However, the totem pole was damaged during a thunderstorm this past August. Now, as Julia Ross reports, the SCO has announced a new plan for the totem pole.
The story behind this pole is a part of our resilience. It carries the voices of survivors, the memory of those who never returned home, and the strength of our nations to heal and to move forward. As SCO, we remain committed to preserving the totem pole and ensuring that its story continues to be shared in a meaningful and accessible way.
The totem pole has remained standing in Winnipeg's Assiniboine Park since last August's storm. Jerry Daniels spoke about the next steps for restoring the totem pole, but the effects from the damage are not known yet. Daniels says that the totem pole will be removed and placed in secure storage, waiting to be assessed.
Once the assessment is complete, we will work with Charles Joseph and other experts to restore the piece if it is possible, and prepare it for its future home at Wewene Bagakanagan.
Wewene Bagakanagan is a project that is redeveloping the former Hudson's Bay building in downtown Winnipeg. Daniel says that through this restoration, reconciliation will be made visible in the heart of downtown Winnipeg. In fact, Wewene Bagakanagan means it is visible in Ojibwe.
This project will bring together housing, economic opportunity, cultural renewal, and a permanent and dignified home for the totem pole. It will provide a space where its message of remembrance and resilience will continue to inspire generations to come.
Wewene Bagakanagan would provide 370 affordable housing units for families, students, and veterans, as well as creating a public main floor to reflect and honor residential and day school survivors. Daniel says a more detailed construction update will take place in the weeks to come. Julia Ross, APTN National News, Winnipeg.
That's all the time we have for your evening newscasts. Your daytime newscast is back again tomorrow with more stories. Please join us then. From all of us here and from our reporting staff from across the country, thank you for watching. We'll see you again next day.